Okay, welcome to Chapter 4, Lesson 9, our last lesson for this chapter, Qualitative Graphs. Our learning target or objective for this lesson is to sketch and describe qualitative graphs. And one vocabulary word for this section is qualitative graphs, which are graphs used to represent situations that may not have numerical values or graphs in which numerical values are not included. Once again, pause the video to write down your definition. Once you're done, you may start up the video. Okay, for this one, the graph at the right displays the water level in a bathtub. Describe the change in water level over time. Obviously, you see the graph does not have anything on it yet, so we're going to fill it in. First, we need to put down our y and x-axis, what we have here. So at the bottom is time, and on our y-axis, we're going to have our water level. So just like filling up a tub, you're going to start down here at the origin, 0. And then if you're taking a soak in a bathtub, you have to fill the tub up. So it's going to come up. And when you hit your desired level, you stop. And in the time, it's going to remain constant. Then when you're done, you're going to drain the tub and it's going to come down empty once again. So let's take a look at this. Okay, as it's first starting up, what is the water level doing in our tub? It is increasing, going up. And then when you turn the water off and you go into the bathtub, there is no change. And then when you're done in the tub, obviously down here, we would be calling it, you're decreasing. And that's pretty much what it is to read a qualitative graph, especially this one. You're just looking at it and describing what you see. Okay, let's take another look at another example. We're going to look at a tennis ball is dropped onto the floor. On each successive bounce, it rebounds to a height less than its previous bounce height until it comes to rest on the floor. Sketch a qualitative graph to represent this situation. First, we have to label our axis. Let's label our x. This is time, how much time it takes for the ball to come to rest. And our y-axis can be distance from the floor. Okay, we're going to start off. You can start off wherever you want to. We're going to start our ball right here on the table. Okay, our ball's going to fall down, hit the ground, bounce back up. Once again, it's not going to hit the same height it was on the table. We'll come back down. Once again, bounce, come back up. Going to lose some momentum. Not going to hit as much. Bounce. Once again, come back up. Not get quite as where it was. Bounce. Come back up a little bit. Bounce. 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 So it comes to a rest. Okay. You know, the distance from the floor starts at a high value. The ball falls to the floor, bounces, rebounds to a height less than it was dropped at. And obviously it's repeated until the ball finally comes to rest. Once again, one way to read this is, each time the ball bounces, it does not reach the same level. That would be one way to read the graph. Or if we had a time, if you timed it, you could put time down here at on the axis and put numbers in there. But once again, it wouldn't be a qualitative graph if you put numbers in there. But over a period of time, the ball finally comes to a rest. Okay, let's hit our next example. Next example, a child swings on a swing. Let's sketch this qualitative graph to represent the situation of a child on a swing. Once again, label our axis. Once again, it'll be time on our x, and y, once again, distance from the ground the child is on the swing. From ground. Okay, once again, we're going to start it off on the y-axis. And we're going to start it, well, you don't start from the zero on the origin, because when you're on a swing, you're actually off the ground already. So we'll start it from right here. There, child. Pull back from the ground, go backwards, and it's going to come close to the ground, then go kick up, and then come back down, kick up, come back down, kick up. Obviously, how high the swing goes is how high the actual graph can go, but that gives you an example of a child swinging on a swing. And then we can come back down and say the child wants to stop after this one, and then you would come back up and stop right there. And that's still the same distance from the ground from where they started at. Once again, there's another example of a qualitative graph. And we're going to come to one and final graph. Okay, a car is traveling at a constant speed. The car slows down steadily to come to a rest at a stop. Sketch qualitative graph to represent the situation. Okay, once again, we have to label on our axis. First one is going to be time on the X. Y is going to be our speed. Now, so again, we pick a spot. There's our car. Car's traveling at a constant rate and has to steadily slow down for the stop sign. Excuse me, took my eye off there. And so steadily slowing down and then stopping for the stoplight. And then there is your final example of a qualitative graph. Once again, no numbers involved, just labels on the y and x axis, and then representing whatever the situation calls for. Any questions, please write them down, and I will go over them at the beginning of class, and then start our class activity.